Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of what will be 3, I believe, of Lunchly versus Lunchables. This week we got the Nacho ones. So Fiesta Nachos, nacho chips with white queso and salsa is the Lunchly one, and then Lunchables says nachos. Just straight up, it says the rest of it, but it's Capri Sun and it's Kit Kat. But let's go ahead and open these up here and see what's going on. That's a pretty good sized Kit Kat, I can tell you right off the front here for the Lunchable one. Maybe not. Maybe that's a normal sized Kit Kat. But okay. So the main difference here, I'm going to say, is obviously we know about the drinks, right? You know my opinion about the drinks. I'm pretty thirsty right now. There's a good chance that I just pound this Capri Sun. I think this is the same kind of Capri Sun. Early appearance from Gus this time. I don't know. I don't know if I'm thirsty as heck or what, but that's so much better than the last one. It's unbelievable. This says Capri Sun Fruit Punch. I don't know if that's different or not than the water one. Pretty sure. I'm going to stop drinking that so I can compare it to this Prime, because pretty sure that's a different kind of Capri Sun. That one's pretty fucking good. Spoiler alert. But anywho, that's kind of a messy thing. I gotta actually be careful where I put these here. The main difference here, I'm going to say, is I forgot if I said it or not, if I interjected myself with talking about the drink. But this is Queso Blanco in Lunchly versus Nacho Cheese in Lunchable. So that's going to be, I think there's going to be a key difference. That's going to be it. So the packaging the same. They just put the little candy bar in the little pile of chips. Looks pretty ridiculous, but whatever. Let me try this strawberry banana bread. It sounds like a pretty mint flavor, I'll be honest. Last time was Rocket Pop. Strawberry mint sounds, or strawberry banana sounds like my kind of agenda. Ooh, that bangs. Ooh, that bangs. I definitely think that's better than this fruit punch from Capri Sun. The Capri Sun fruit punch is actually pretty good. So that's pretty nice. You know, I told myself I was going to do a head count on these chips, but I'm fucking not going to do that. That is absurd. They look like relatively the same-ish amount here. 4.7 regular ounces, 4.8 regular ounces. So maybe you get the tiniest little bit amount more from Lunchly. I mean, 1 ounce, it's going to be nothing. The salsa, it looks like a little bit of a thicker salsa in the Lunchly, more of like a restaurant style in the Lunchable. I'm just going to go in for the pinky test here once and see what's up. Okay. That's not a bad salsa at all out of Lunchables. I don't have much Capri Sun to wash down with. I pounded at the beginning. All right, we're going to go in. Use a different finger here, actually. Try not to cross-contaminate the Lunchly. I think that's kind of worse. For real? I think that is worse salsa. Why is it worse? I don't know. It was definitely my gut reaction. We're going to try it with the chips and see what's up. I can only eat so much salsa straight off my fingers without being completely ridiculous. All right, we are going to try the cheese though now in the same manner. Okay, that's pretty good from the Lunchly, the queso blanco. I'm not getting a lot of the salty aftertaste out of this prime. I don't know if it's different or maybe it's because I'm eating saltier food this time. I'm not sure yet. All right, let me try the lot less thick. Terrible. I mean, that's like extra super mega processed. Got maybe the tiniest little bit of spice to it comparatively. So that's something that I like the agenda of. Let me go in for a chip and queso once from Lunchable. It's a hard chip. Definitely forgot to try the chips on their own. Let me try the chips on their own once. I'm gonna get a big handful of them. Really get the chippy flavor here. Low salt. Tastes like a corn chip though, man. Not really like a tortilla chip. It tastes like a corn chip. I think it's the exact same chip. It's the exact same cracker last time, right? So just gonna do something crazy here. I'm gonna combine them. I think I'm gonna edge it out on Lunchly a little bit for a chip. It's not as hard, I would say. I'd say the flavor is pretty much the same. They both don't have a lot of salt on them. Full corn chip taste. Tastes exactly like a corn chip, which is not the normally kind of chips I would get for like a nachos. You know, I would get a tortilla chip. So a little bit different there. But let me try them with the cheese again here. This cheese is like, okay, for real, it's got like a little bit of kick in it, honestly. Like it's getting me in the back of my throat. It's not like my tongue is burning by any means, but it's like make me want to cough like a little bit, you know? I would say that's very reminiscent of the type of cheese that you're gonna get at like a ballpark or a movie theater. You know, if you get like a pretzel bite or like the nachos there, I'm sure it's the same shit you get in like the bag. The bag of cheese that you squeeze out. I love that stuff. It tastes great. It's maybe like a little tiny bit spicier though, which is kind of odd because it's in like the kids' food, you know? So I feel like that's kind of a curveball to normal. Let me try the white queso. Very thick on this white queso. It's like, I don't know, you gotta want it a little bit. Kind of had like a strawberry banana burp going on there when I was chewing that, so I'm actually going for another pinch here. Got a lot of strawberry banana flavor. I'm gonna try and get some of this. It seems like there's like little pieces of pepper in here. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of that. Definitely better queso for sure. Out of Lunchly, it tastes like it's not like a great queso by any means, but it's more akin to something you're gonna get in a jar at the grocery store, right? If you get a white queso. So definitely a better taste. I'd guess definitely give it to Lunchly on the queso portion. Let's try the salsa again. A lot less to, go over in this one. It's just 3 ingredients, right? So okay, pretty darn sweet. Nice and juicy, which is at least how I like my salsa, truthfully. Very liquidy. Also quite sweet on the Lunchly salsa. How can I describe these two? I'm gonna go ahead and say Lunchables salsa. Take your regular Tostitos that you're gonna get in a jar and add a scoop of sugar to the jar. Super similar to that. Maybe a little bit thinner, I would guess. I actually blend my salsa a lot of the time to get it more of the restaurant style. So it definitely is appealing to me in that regard. The consistency of it. You got a lot more. You get like visual. Let me dig in here a little bit here. I'm seeing. I got more chunks of stuff too. I can see a little piece of onion, maybe a piece of pepper, tomato in the Lunchables one, and the Lunchly one is just like a big red paste of ketchup. Basically, it almost looks like not ketchup, but sorta of a monster chip, of like a triple chip here, or like a chip they forgot to cut into circles rather. I've had salsa like this before out of a jar too. It's like shit that you'd buy and it's more expensive, but it's fucking worse for some reason, Like I feel like this one is a $4 jar of salsa. This one is your $6 jar of salsa. And this one's worse. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to do it too much. It just tastes. I lose like a lot of tomato. I don't know. It's like pure sugar. Sugar and tomato. That's basically all I'm getting out of that, honestly. The Lunchable. Still sweet, but like I was saying, that you can like see the actual stuff you want in your salsa in there. I can kind of taste that, So definitely gonna say Lunchables on the salsa portion. Heavily also. Now we're on to the candy bars here, of course. I like a Kit Kat more than a Hershey's bar. That's for free. And I certainly don't think that the Feastables is getting to be such a increase in quality over a Hershey's bar that you are incentivized to get it. I would guess here. I mean, let me look. I think you're getting more candy overall with the Kit Kat. Also, looks like obviously you got to count the wafer inside of the Kit Kat here as candy compared to just like a chocolate that Feastables is. But it's great. It's Kit Kat. These two, I mean, it's not like the gummy worms versus the Feastables bar. I mean, you're getting the same exact thing here, basically, whether you want a Kit Kat or a Hershey's bar, Feastables bar, whatever. Almost identical. What I am going to drop onto you here, I was a little bit off on my price point last time that I said you're talking a relatively substantial difference, I think. I got these Lunchables on sale, so I don't really think that portion counts here of it. But this was $3.50, or it would have been rather $3.50 for the Lunchables and $5 for the Lunchly. In fact, I had to wait to grab my box of stuff here because there was a kid crying to his dad about getting a Lunchly over Lunchables. And the dad was laying on the law on him and said, I'm getting, because it was on sale for $2.50, so a really good price right then. He's saying I can get 2 Lunchables for the price of 1 Lunchly. That's a big deal for sure. Last time I said it was like every 4 Lunchables you get like a free Lunchly or a free Lunchable on the Lunchlys. It's actually 3 rather, right? 3 and then plus 50 cents basically. So you're pretty darn close. Or 4. Nope. Yeah, it's on me. But regardless, price point wise, you're gonna choose the Lunchable. This time, I like this Capri Sun. It's definitely not as good as this Prime, but the fact this is an actual fruit punch Capri Sun here made it a lot better. This is a drink that I'm enjoying. I think the cheese is worse, but not by any gigantic margin. As long as you're okay eating your run-of-the-mill nacho cheese, you're gonna like this. And I think the salsa is considerably better. And now, is this just like a small pouch? Yeah, it is just a small pouch. I'm gonna say you gotta kind of get pretty deep into the cheese pocket here to get at the cheese. And I was thinking maybe there's more cheese, but no, I think it's just kind of a smaller pouch, so it's up a little bit higher. And the chips, albeit the Lunchables ones, excuse me, are a little bit smaller, I think, in just size straight up. They seem to like fit a little bit inside of the Lunchly ones. They taste pretty much identical. They're not a great chip. They taste identical. The Lunchables ones maybe a little bit more brittle, a little harder, but I don't think it's doing too much for you. And the price wise, I think it's Lunchables all the way this time. And I'm actually going to go ahead and give you 7 to 3. I think that everything considered, I think it's a big deal about this time. For the nacho ones, I would 100% of the time choose Lunchables over the Lunchly. I basically think that I can use up this cheese and the salsa and be happy with the whole time, and that's a big deal. And for the Lunchly one, I think once I'm out of this queso, I'm like really groaning and not being happy about having to use this salsa because I think it's pretty nasty salsa. Kit Kat, that's a slight edge. You definitely get some points back here with the Prime, but that's what you're paying for, right? You're paying that extra $1.50 for this big name. So definitely, if you're gonna buy a nacho pre-made lunch thingy, go with Lunchables this time, and we're gonna see what's up for the last one. We'll see you next time.